Too often, young men and women find themselves entangled in the criminal justice system, and all too often they end up convicted, serve time, and released without proper skills, education, and resources to re-enter society. The symposium Small Steps, Big Chances is a first of its kind here in the Bronx.
One of the big needs in terms of the criminal justice and juvenile justice systems is to get community more involved. It's important that we dialogue and actually sit down and work together.
The New York City Department of Probation wants to provide the necessary resources to help with former offenders.
We are actually here to get personal outcomes for people on probation. Growth, a change of direction so that they can be part of the community in a way that is productive for them and for the community.
The next step is getting them into school, getting them education, getting them the services that they need.
The symposium also offered ex-offenders an opportunity to learn what resources and organizations are at their disposal.
Individuals with criminal justice issues tend to find difficulties dealing with their barriers and trying to find employment. Knowing what to say to an employer, how can they let the employer know that they made their mistakes. And our job is just to basically assist them finding employment, speaking to employers, letting them know their mistakes, they're wrong for their rights, and giving them a second chance.
The relevance of this symposium to the community at large is that many of those who find themselves re-entering society most often lack the basics like housing, state ID, social security, and in some cases even their birth certificates.
Without that identification, it's hard for them to get education, it's hard for them to get employment, and they need that.
The conference touched on various different criminal justice elements ranging from education, juvenile justice, adult and juvenile sex offenders.
For some people, it is as basic as where am I going to live? What am I going to eat? How am I going to survive? And so some of these organizations help to stabilize people, to give them that basic level of support.
The message today is, if you're willing to try, there is always help. From the Bronx Supreme Courthouse, this is Sylvia Englund for Bronxnet.